Koi, and although they've been riding on the fronts, they now have 6 riders, or 5 riders should I say, to try and navigate the youngster to the front. And if he does win today, that would be win number 7 of the year.
Yeah, incredible for a 20-year-old rider. Well, Jumbo-Visma, as they have been for the last 90 kilometres really, controlling things at the front. Looks like they haven't done it too soon, because they've got inside 5 kilometres to go now. We're working our way round. We'll be going across the bridge, across the canal again. I can see the British rider Matt Gibson, he of the high helmet. He's managed to lower that one a bit, so I don't know whether he's cut some hair off or got a bigger helmet, but it looks a little bit better fitting today. He's only just recently signed to that team. He is in the orange and purple on the right there of Human Powered Health. He will definitely be looking to try and bring Arvid Decline up to the front. He's been very consistent, Decline, 5th on both opening stages. Can they get him up onto that podium or better?
Well, he's certainly a good bet, that's for sure. One of the outsiders potentially, but I've just seen as well in the navy blue of Ineos Grenadiers the very tall figure of Ben Turner just moving up. They haven't committed just yet. Remember, they've got a smaller resource with which to pilot Elliot Viviani to the line, and over the last couple of stages, both sprints they've left it very, very late. In fact, within the last K to bring up the former Olympic champion, but still it is Jumbo-Visma on the front. Another couple of riders that aren't too far away, or teams that aren't too far away, who haven't hit the front just yet. Team DSM looking after the muscular figure of Sam Welsford.
That is that dip and rise before we head back towards the final 2 kilometres. Long, hard drive being done by Jumbo-Visma. Tosh van der Sande giving it everything he can, I think, at the front there. And looking down the line, Olaf Koy just off the back wheel. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 riders. So the only one that isn't there, I mean, Jos van Emden's definitely there. I'm trying to see who's peeled off already. He is definitely right at the back of that line in the yellow leader's jersey. Burgos Biace are going to have another crack at this one. It did look like they were bringing up Mikael Reim. There he is. Mikael Reim has made his way back to the front. He has that blue Estonian national champion's jersey on. There he is.
Yep. This is Jos van Emden on the front now, up this long little drag. Jos van Emden out of the saddle, making sure they're stamping their authority on this race, not allowing anybody to take things up at the front, taking control on these corners. Although we've still got 3 kilometres to go, Jos van Emden is the sort of rider that could spend a kilometre on the front here without too many problems at all. Starting to line this one out. This is what they want to do. That injection of pace means that it's very, very difficult to move up on the outside in the wind. Stringing this out, this is exactly what they need to do.
So it was Michael Hessmann who's peeled off, the big German. He did some long turns on the front. That's the one Jumbo-Visma swung away from the front. The rest of them are all still here to help. DSM are seeing what they can do. It's once again super reliant on one of the oldest riders in that team, John Degenkolb, I should say, who is trying to bring the DSM train back to the front. And Sam Welsford, where is he? Should be locked on the back wheel of John Degenkolb, but looking to see the tattooed arm of Welsford. I haven't seen anything of him so far. That might be a good thing, of course.
But from this point onwards, it's very, just making sure that little island, everybody's got through that save. I can see Jacob on the curve there. Well, that was one of the Spanish riders. Clearly, I'm not too sure who that was, but he's going to come to a grinding halt. Thankfully, he has stayed upright. But let's have a look at that again. Let's just see. It's actually one of the Sport Vlaanderen riders. It's difficult to see who is to blame that one. But clearly, well, thank goodness that rider has stayed upright. But we've only got about 1,500 metres to go now, so we need to get back to the action ensuing it. It's still Jumbo-Visma on the front. And look on the left-hand side, Degenkolb trying to bring DSM to the fore.
Yeah, and Decline is right on the back wheel of Sam Welsford. Sam Welsford locked onto the back wheel of Aaron van Pucke, who's found himself in the perfect position once again. The rider for Sport Vlaanderen and Baloise, he is in the perfect position. And Jakob Maresco has the back wheel of the winner of the first 2 stages. Maresco sits the first of the non-Jumbo-Visma riders, and Olaf Koy's just had a look back, and he might know it. Now, if Maresco can get this one right, he can get retribution for what happened yesterday. And some would say that's richly deserved, because it was a bizarre final sprint yesterday. Arvid Decline just drifting back there. He's back there near the green jersey of Elia Viviani into that final bend now. This is where it starts to narrow into the residential quarter just before the finish line. They're well inside the final kilometre here, Matt.
They certainly are, and it's still Jumbo-Visma. They've absolutely bossed this one, and I'm struggling to see the green jersey of Elia Viviani. I think he might have left this one a little bit too late, and I think he's there at about 8th or 9th wheel now. A couple more corners, and then the finishing straight opens up, but Jumbo-Visma doing the perfect lead out for Olav Koy in the yellow jersey. He is in position number 3. It's about 500 metres to go now, Jess.
And this is the Van Dijk brothers who are looking to lead him out, but Maresco has pushed his way in. In fact, he's got one man left, Olav Koy, and it's going to be Van Dijk who leads out. Koy ready to go, and let's see if he can do it. Maresco's gone early. Maresco once again has struck out early. It's going to be a head-to-head between these two. Olav Koy, Jakob Maresco, he's got it! And he puts his finger to the lips as if to say, that's what I'm talking about. It looked clean to me this time, Matt. He looked so quick yesterday, and he's done it again. Let's hope it stands.
I think I'll be surprised. I mean, that looked good to me. I mean, that was a little bit of a dig, a little bit of a nod, and that's more of an emphatic punch to the air now, to the air. And there it is. That was a clean sprint and a wonderful victory by Jakob Maresco. A redemptive ride by the Italian. So it now technically is win number 2 of the season. Win number 16, we can say it properly. Delight all round for Alpecin Phoenix. But that was a really tight sprint. He opened it up. That headwind, I think, definitely did play his part, but he came out of the slipstream of Koy with about 200 metres to go, and there was no stopping him. That devastating turn of speed. And in the end, there was nothing wrong with that sprint at all, and that's confirmation. I don't think there'll be any appeals there. No,
and there we can see just how many of his teammates were right there in the peloton behind, immediately stopping to congratulate him. And Alpecin Phoenix, Matt, you described them, I think, on day one as being a kind of de facto, world team anyway, sitting at the very top of the pro team rankings, as they have been for a long time. Let's watch this run in, though. Aaron Van Pucke was so well placed, again, just on the back wheel of Jakob Maresco. And I didn't see where Van Pucke finished, but he made it look quite easy. He just punched his way forward to the back wheel of Maresco, sitting on the back wheel of the yellow jersey itself, and then they opened up, Matt.
Yeah, this is great. Coming into the final corner, this is where it opens up. There's a little bit of a chicane, and look at Maresco still waiting. Remember, there's a little bit of a headwind, so leaving it late, absolutely crucial. Of a decline coming up in the orange there. He's moving up on the inside, but look at Maresco there. He opens his sprint half a second earlier than Olav Koy. Each one goes either side of the lead-out rider, but actually every single pedal stroke is propelling the Italian that little bit quicker than Olav Koy on this occasion. In fact, it was
Sorby. Alexander Sorby.
Sorry, in third place. My mistake there.
So it's colours again, isn't it? The orange jersey.
Viviani, again, just a little bit too far back coming into the last K-Day. He had to make up a lot of ground, still managed to finish 4th, but no, a rather emphatic, very strong win. Here it is again. Unsighted at the moment is Jakob Maresco. Perfect position number 3. And actually, there we go, 160 metres to go, opens it up, clean as a whistle on the left-hand side, and it was never really in doubt. Carrying a little bit more speed, low, very low front sleep, head down, straight as an arrow on this occasion. Viviani finishing fast, but not as quick as his fellow countrymen. And there we go.
Do you know what, Matt? I am really impressed by Alexander Sorby. He's been quick. He was right up there on the first day. He was, what, 7th? The Danish rider for the Rewell cycling team. And actually, we might get a chance to see that again from above. I'd like to. I think he was balked a little bit there, or not balked, but he had to back off and brake a little bit. He was coming with the most speed, actually, as that sprint really opened up. I think he's, on paper this week, one of the fastest guys. Well, he is one of the fastest guys in the field, but I think, given the opportunity, he could win a stage of this before we finish on Sunday.
It's quite
really
possible.
Really good.
It's quite possible. Again, Viviani will be disappointed with that one. With about that, there was so much pace being driven at the front. There wasn't quite the organisation to try and get Viviani a little bit further up. It's easy to say, isn't it? Especially these technical runners, they are very, very tricky to get the timing right. But so hard to move up in the last kilometre, the speeds they're travelling.